Alright, welcome. So, like I said yesterday, we are doing a follow-up video. This follow-up video will be covering everything. All of the news, all the new updates, all of the extra stuff that is coming with Cyber City, the very next set for Teamfight Tactics. It drops in about 14 days-ish, give or take, depending on the patch day and when the thing comes online. But it drops in 2 weeks, right? And just yesterday, we looked at the patch notes for the current set, the For Fun patch notes. And now, it's time to take a look-see. So, we're going to start, probably not with the cinematics. I want to actually look at what's going on here. So, we'll start here with the Cyber City overview. Oh, nice. I already like this, this carousel. Alright, so first and foremost, we have Cyber Boss. This appears to be Yordles. You have Poppy, Veigar, Ziggs, and Kobuko. The best Yordle is back. So 1 cost, 2 cost, 4 cost, 5 costs. Cyber Boss, it's a 4. Breakpoints at 2 and 4. Activating Cyber Boss has these retro Yordles upgrading the strongest in the crew to their final form, gaining health, AP, and an increased ability size so they can want more enemies. If you're able to field all 4 Cyber Bosses, all 4 of them upgrade. The strongest of them getting even more stats. Interesting. Let's take a look-see. Interesting. So that's Veigar. That's a 2 cost reroll. I see. Five cost. Kobuko is a multi-phase fighter and hits hard at all stages. Even his auto attacks deal extra damage, scaling with AP. If you're able to survive the punches and whittle him down in the process, he'll take on his next form, gaining a large shield, attack speed, omnivamp, and mana. Briefly grants Kobuko durability before he picks up a nearby foe, knocks them up, and finally slams them down, dealing a portion of Terry's smell max. He turns into Set. Cool. So, final boss. Street Demon. Placing an ally in a painted hex grants them HP, AP, and AD, with Street Demons giving double. Some hexes will be extra pretty signature hexes, granting even more stats. Street Demon 10, covering your entire board. Yeah, so that just seems like the basic vertical trait, right? 3, 5, 7, 10. Everyone gets a little bit stronger. And you can pick and choose who receives the buffs. And if you go vertical, you can just put them all in the square so everyone's a little more powerful. Okay. The legendary unit for Street Demon is Samira, whose Demon Trigger ability has her dash towards her target, firing bullets split between nearby enemies. Each bullet will shred armor and deal physical damage. She'll get more bullets to fire when you field more AMP units. More on this in a second, so that's her other trait. Although her daredevil instincts have her diving into the fray, when she's done spraying her foes, she'll dash back to safety. She's likely to get a hit a few times. She'll also gain Omnivamp and become unstoppable. So this is kind of like, I would guess like Inkborn Fable Samira. not new at all. AMP, this is the other thing Samira was in. A new class trait, not an origin. It's got a novel output that's worth getting amped about. AMP champions upgrade their abilities in unique ways that scale with their trait breakpoint, but they'll also gain a bit of health as well. So we'll look at this later, but as an example, Samira will increase the number of bullets she fires from Demon Trigger. Okay. Anima Squad, another 35710. This seems to be another one of those, you just go for one of these basic vertical traits. At each breakpoint, you'll be able to add another weapon to your arsenal. These weapons randomly fire from Anima Squaddies periodically during combat. To keep the squad topped off, they also gain armor and magic resist. To keep them popping off, they also gain damage amp. Ah, I see. So you get different weapons that you can place on the units. Blade Array. Throw a returning Blade Array that deals physical damage increased for the first target hit. So Akshan's Boomerang, or perhaps Nar. Uwu Blasters. Fires a big series of bullets dealing physical damage. So, yeah, I get it. This is like if you played Swarm. If you played Swarm, which I made a video on, this is the upgrades that you could get. So Uwu Blast, this was Misfortune's ultimate ability, I believe. Searing Shortbow fires an arrow that leaves an area that deals magic damage over time. This actually looks like a Varus E for League of Legends. The Annihilator, the best, my favorite. Deal percent max health true damage 1, so that's probably just the orbital laser. Spawn a whirlwind of tornadoes. Janna. Summon several trains that run through the fight, dealing devastating damage and carrying away low health enemies. Next stop, the gray screen. Interesting. So if you get to 10, you get this huge board wipe. Call in a support ship that drops powerful goodies onto the battlefield. All weapon skill, Animal Squad, total star level and stage. Yeah. If you get to 10, you just win automatically, right? As is typically the case with these vertical traits. You get to a prismatic, you just win. Randomly call them in. And look, Aurora finally showed up. I think Aurora was supposed to show up as like a portal champion 2 sets ago, and she never did. They put Nora in instead, which is cool. Aurora's ability has her swap places with the leftmost champion on your bench. While that champion gains attack speed, Aurora will then swap to hitting the most enemies in the line on each of her casts. Until her swapped ally dies, she'll remain bouncing around and casting her damaging linear ability. Aurora cannot swap places with another Aurora. Okay. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Cypher, a 3-4-5 trait. Ready to risk it all and get out just before your HP strikes 0? Ah, here we go. This is the new Chem Baron, the new Heartsteel, the new Econ trait, where you lost streak on purpose. Cypher is a more traditional cash-out trait with a fresh twist. As you lose combat, you'll collect intel, more for lost streaks, just a tad more for each enemy kill. But here's the catch, you can only trade that intel for powerful cash-out one time. And that can only be on round 3, 3, 3, 7, 4, 3, or 4, 7. After that, get ready to put the intel to good use, because while Cypher champions gain attack damage and ability power after you cash out, your cash out will likely have you flexing into powerful late game champions and synergies with an array of spatulas, frying pans, 5-cost radiant items, and more. So once again, refining the cash out traits, because you are now limited to when you can cash out, and once you do it, that's it. You only do it once a game. All right, interesting. Divinicorp. So this is like Divine from I think that one was Inkborn Fables, right? Divine, where every single unit you put in makes the board stronger, which is why it's called Divinicorp. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Divinicorp's formidable resource and malevolent agenda, blah blah blah, will grant your team unique stats, increasing when more of the corporations in command. So it is divine. It's divine again. So each Divinicorp ally you put in grants a unique bonus to the whole board. So Morgana gives AP, Rost armor, Gragas health, Senna AD, Vex critical strike chance, Renekton attack speed. And then the emblem gives Omnivamp, the same thing that Divine did. Okay. Remembers doing Divine and putting a Divine emblem on who'd you put it on? You put it on Kayn, I think. Yeah, you put it on Kayn, and then you put a Night Harvester on Kayn, whatever that item is called. At the helm of the corp is the Crocodile Renekton, trying to scalp his company. His legendary trait is Overlord, allowing him to take a bite out of the unit in the hex behind him, dealing a percentage of their max health that's true damage and gaining that percentage of their HP and a portion of their AD in the process. His ability's first cast has him deal damage to enemies within 2 hexes, burning and wounding them as well as giving him max health. During Renekton's Ascension, his attacks strike twice and he can dash to new targets. Once he casts again in this mode, his attacks will strike thrice, but he'll cap out. Give this double and triple striking champion some attack speed or on-hit effects like Wood 10, and he'll defy all Crocodilia idioms. Interesting. Exotech, yet another 3, 5, 7, 10. We have a number of these this time. 3 so far. Exotech's all about the loot. Activating the trait grants unique items that can only be equipped by Exotech champions. Exact items you receive will differ from game to game and have best case uses for them in the tooltip. Feel free to get creative. In addition to the shiny Exotech items they get, they also gain health and attack speed for each item equipped. As you increase from 3, 5, 7, and finally, if you're very lucky, 10 Exotech, you'll get 1, 2, 3, and all the Exotech items respectively. So it's kind of like Shimmer Scale. Oh, but it looks like you don't get a... So it's more like Ink Shadow, right? It's like Ink Shadow. Lantern, gain 5% health. Every few seconds, deal a portion of your max health as damage. Yeah, so it's like Ink Shadow, where you get these unique items. Corrupted Chassis. All shields are more effective on the holder. Every few seconds, siphon a portion of the owner's max health and convert it to a shield. This item will effectively turn your HP into much, much more, but beware of the guard breakers and try to combo this with Redemption and Gargoyles for maximum tanking. Sounds pretty good. Hollowbow. Attacks the critically strike grant 2 bonus mana after casting, gain 40% critical strike. Pulse Stabilizer. Execute enemies below 12% HP. Abilities can critically strike. If the holder's abilities can already critically strike, gain critical strike damage instead. Ah, so it's like it's IE and Collector put together. So this is a Hollowbow. That's why it's so good with Mordecai. Mordecai gives himself a shield and he's a bruiser, so he has bonus maximum HP. So you put this item on Mordekaiser and you get bonus HP plus bonus shielding. Yeah. Alright. Golden Ox, 246. And there are 6 of them, so you can hit 6 naturally. Econ, roll down, get stronger, repeat. Golden Ox champs gain damage amp and have a chance to drop gold on kill. If you spend a certain amount of gold on rerolls or XP in a single turn, their damage amp will permanently increase. But the gold required for the next bonus will also go up. Reroll players rejoice. Rerolls count double towards gold spent. At 6 Golden Ox, you'll also have a chance to acquire loot. Oh, that's kind of interesting. So you econ up, and then you start spending your gold, and your board gets stronger and stronger and stronger. Interesting. So that's a... Very interesting. That's my favorite one so far, Golden Ox. Alright, Viego. He dives into the largest clump of enemies, dealing magic damage and reducing magic resistance. As units, foes, and acquaintances die, Viego will absorb their soul, healing a portion of himself so he can get to freeing even more souls. So he resets like he does in League. What makes him different from the rest of them? His ability to gain a hologram copy of the highest cost enemy he helped kill last round. That copy will have a set amount of health and deal reduced damage, but it will come with a recommended item. As you start Viego, the hologram will get stronger as well. So is that an extra unit that just goes on the board for free? Interesting. Very, very interesting. Syndicate 357. Tip the skills in the back alleys of Cyber City and tip your hat with the defeat you deal. Hey, what's up, Anasora? As you go from 3 to 5 Syndicate, you'll get another hat to mix and match for style, or optimizing the power of your team, likely the latter. Syndicate champions will also gain health, increasing at each breakpoint. If you manage to get to 7 Syndicate, their Kingpin effects will be upgraded. Right, so I'm trying to remember the name of the trait that did this. Because the trait that did it originally was, God, I can't remember. There's been so many traits that give you an item that you place on the champs to make the champion stronger. But that's basically what's happening here. And each champion has a unique bonus based on what, based on who's holding the hat. So you have Shaco, he's a 1 cost. And his bonus is he teleports behind the lowest health enemy. So it's his Q. And if you have a 7 Syndicate bonus, if he kills, it's a reset. He casts it again. Darius is 2 gold. Increased ability range. Damage is reduced by each hex away from Darius. So he takes less damage from units further away. And then he gets even more range at 7. Twisted Fate, another 2 cost. Throw a random special card at the current target that deals magic damage. Red explodes, blue deals true damage, yellow grants gold. And at 7, he throws all 3 at 3 different enemies. Braum gains armor and MR, and his next attack deals damage scaling with the armor and MR. At 7, he gets even more armor and MR, and he gets the enhanced attacks more often. Misfortune, 4 gold, Dynamo. Fire 3 more waves. So I guess like her ability is that she does her ultimate from League of Legends, and at 7, bullets pierce enemies for slightly reduced damage. What exactly does that mean? Bullets pierce enemies for slightly reduced damage. So I guess it goes through the enemy, like it hits the enemy and it can go through and hit another enemy, but it does a little bit less damage. So there's only 4 nitros, but you can play up to 4 of them. Nitro Assemble. Nitro champions grant Chrome to their R080T based on their star level. If you gather enough Chrome, your little... Oh, robot. I'm a fucking idiot. Robot. It's robot. Will upgrade to T-Hex. Complete with laser beams at 4 nitro. Nitro is a small splash summon that should be played as a reroll to maximize the power of your bot. Yeah, so this is the new summon. But it looks like there's not an extra breakpoint for if you get emblems. It looks like you just need to get 3 or 4 of them. And there's 2 1 costs, a 2 cost, and a 1 3 cost. Got you. Finally, we have 2 threat-like 5 costs into Cyber City, Garen and Zac. Garen's the god of the net. We use threat-like to describe legendary units that don't have specific origin-based comps to slot into. Instead, they can be flexibly splashed into just about any comp. Oh, that's very interesting. Garen's something of a trait web expert himself. His God of the Net trait allows him to open an armory of trait mods that permanently reprogram a champion to benefit from a trait, but not contribute. After 2-player combats. Interesting. So he can't... It's not really a spatula per se. He can make it so a unit benefits from the trait, but the trait doesn't get stronger. So if you're at 7 for one of the traits, you can't make it to 10 with Garen. But he will apply the 7 to any unit you choose. So you can turn a Vanguard frontliner into a Bastion, for example. Or a marksman with rapid fire. Yeah, okay, so that's pretty cool. He's also a reliable frontliner that gains a shield, slams his sword into his current target, and then fires out a wave that deals physical damage. This champ just does so much. If it hits 2 or fewer enemies, he'll gain a bunch of mana to do so again just sooner. Oh my god. He does a lot. Just a powerful unit that can make your board benefit from other stuff on your board. I wonder if that works with himself. Can he do it to himself too, so that he can benefit from whatever else you're building? Because he does it every 2 rounds. Is it an item or is it just a thing? An armory of trait mods. Every time you upgrade you the next one requires 1 additional round. Oh, okay, I didn't read that part. And champions can only have 1 additional trait mod. Okay. That's kind of interesting. Because I'm pretty sure he can trait mod himself. So he can make himself into a Bastion or whatever. So he can be a more effective front line. And you can make sure you get value. And since it'll cost 1 more every single round, it'll go 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Which is a long time. You have 2 rounds and then 5 rounds and then 6 rounds. And then 10 rounds. If you hit him really, really early, he's got to be really, really good because your board's going to start scaling completely out of control. Zac Virus. We saved the bounciest for last. Slot Zac in prepared to deal with pop-up ads. He'll infect your shop with a chance to spawn on bloblets. These are free mini Zacs that are totally safe to click, just not for your enemies. They'll empower Zac, increasing his max health and giving him a bit of ability power. Whether you're running the latest anti-malware or not, Zac's hard to take out. As soon as you get him down to low health, he'll split into 2 even healthier copies. All that, we haven't even gotten to his ability where he puts his big blobbiness, health, and AP to disruptive use. Upon casting, Zac bounces on nearby enemies, dealing damage, scaling with both his HP and AP, and stunning them briefly. He'll also heal a bit, scaling with AP in the process. So he's just an infinitely scaling disruptor tank, right? Infinite AP. Seems pretty strong. He'll definitely scale. And this looks like it's every shop, not every round like Garen. So if you're like rolling, you can hit several bloblets in one turn. Okay, not bad. So that was what I should have seen originally. So that was the Cyber City overview, which is what I should have seen originally. Here's the next article, Portal into the Convergence. With the release of Cyber City on April 2nd, we're introducing an all-new type of cosmetic, one that's at the core of how every tactician travels through the Convergence, portals. Portals are nothing new. Magic allows your favorite Feather Knight. Oh, so this is like when you jump off the carousel, right? What is new is the ability to customize them. Similar to Boom's Tacticians, you'll be able to select a portal. So this is just a new cosmetic option. Well, this is Veigar's recall for his legendary skin. Final boss. To unlock a new portal, you have to click over to the rotating shop where you'll find them in the Mythic section. There will also be one Enter the Cyberspace in the Past Plus for Cyber City's release. There are 2 distinct tiers of portals. First is Standard. Will be our base tier priced at 1 mythic medallion. We'll be releasing these in batches, with the first batch containing the following 4. Event Horizon, Honey Hive, Splash Party, and Eldritch Eye. Cool. This is probably the best one right here. Event Horizon. Next, there are legendary portals available for 3 mythic medallions. Visually more exciting, coincide with thematically resonant elements. Like a set release or the release of your fan favorite chibi. Let's check out the legendary portals coming with the release. Janna's Fantastic Forecast. So this isn't just the carousel, it's when you're moving from stage to stage. I'm about it. I mean, it's a nice little extra customization option if you really like that. Project Vein Unbound, Project X-Fall. I hate Vein. That it? Yeah, okay. Portals are purely cosmetic. They won't change or provide any gameplay information that can be used for or against your benefit. You'll see your own portal during both the planning phase and when teleporting to others' arenas. However, other players who are scouting or being invaded will see the default portal. Okay. Well, that's one thing I was worried about, but never mind. It's all fine. After the playing stage, when someone else is actively traveling to your arena, you'll see their selected portal. Ensuring everyone in the lobby sees default portals before the round starts prevents any additional information. As we add more portals, we wanted to prevent situations where everyone in the lobby has a different portal, making it possible to track exactly who your next opponent is a little too easily. Same rules apply to double up as well. Also taking the time to improve the way you equip your favorite cosmetics. Let's just take a look-see. Oh, you can have a lot more favorites now. That's good. Up to 24. Not bad. And then you can save a loadout. All right, cool. Not bad. I like it. All right, so that's another thing crossed off the list. Portals, not terrible actually. All right, let's look at the mechanics for Cyber City. All right. Themed augment slots. Your leftmost augment slot will have additional rerolls and show augments from one category, such as items, econ, chaos, traits, black market, build around, formation. So it looks like augments have different classifications now. One gold augment, choose one strong gold augment or two potentially synergistic but weaker silver augments. Fourth augment, an additional round for choosing an augment, bringing you to a total of no more than 4 total augments. Augment timing. Augments can move to different rounds. Unlike the Lily encounter for Make More Fables, which randomly move augment rounds, this hack will only ever move augments to earlier rounds. Interesting. So, for example, you can choose Portable Forge, or you can go whenever you see Mr. Junior units alive in your opponent, units regenerate 4 health each second, plus team building. Interesting. So, you can potentially have situations like this pop up if it gets hacked. Okay, we're hacking the shop next. Some players are just lucky, but these shops are always lucky. Like all hacks, Lucky Shop will affect all players at an equal rate, which will be once per stage in a random round. During this round, everyone's first shop will be lucky, containing units tailored to their team. Hacked Lucky Shops will always let you know where the luck is coming from with a graphic that plays when that shop appears. Occasionally, a hacked unit will appear at 2 stars in your shop. Okay, so every so often you can get a better shop. I mean, it makes it a lot easier to hit, right? It stops you from getting to like stage 4 without hitting the 3 cost that fits into your comp. Because that happens and it sucks. Yeah, so these were 4 different hacks. I'm looking back at it now and I get it. So one of these hacks will happen to your augments per game. So you either get themed augments, the 1 gold and 2 silvers, an extra 4th augment, or your augments showing up sooner. Carousel hacks. These hacks won't make it free to go to the local carnival carousel, but the carousel and the convergence will always be free. Tailored items. Each unit on the carousel will have 2 completed items attached, both of which will be from the unit's recommended items list. Or a carousel with anvils in place of champs and items. Okay, that's kind of interesting. So this just means better itemization off of carousels. That can be pretty good. And if you do happen to need a specific unit, you're guaranteed to get items for that unit. Potentially, if it's hacked. Hacks from Yester Hacker's Pass. I see dragons in the anomaly. Treasure Dragon. At stage 4-7, choose from a rollable package of loot. Augments can appear during the treasure armory. Hacked eggs. Players will receive eggs with loot in them. The loot power is based on how long the egg takes to hatch. Hacked eggs appear in hacked loot orbs. You'll know them when you see them. There's also a hack that will open up an armory of 3 different lengths, with short, medium, and long variations that have prize pair that scales with duration to hatch. Dude, that's so cool, actually. I feel like it's going to be extremely imbalanced. Because if someone hits like a tailored augment that's like really good for their team, it's just like a super instant immediate power spike. And I'm assuming you can hit emblems this way as well. Some hacks hack what was thought to be unhackable. Tactician Health. A small amount of Tactician Health has a chance to appear in some hacked loot orbs. Also, you can heal off of a loot orb? Also available, unstable item components transform into a different item component each round. Think Pandora's items, but one or two specific components. Take it or split it. Opens up an armory that presents two choices for all players. Take 10 gold or split 30 gold from whoever chooses the latter. So if everybody, so for example, you take 10 gold, you're guaranteed to get 10 gold. But if only two people choose to split the 30, both those people would get 15. So it's kind of a little bit of a gamble, right? You can guarantee 10 gold or gamble to get more than 10, depending on how many other people also choose to gamble. Sentinel Armory. Pick one of 3 sentinels with 3 items each. These sentinels will all have items of the same class and be tank, frontline, or backline. So you can pick a frontline tank, frontline attacker, frontline attacker. A bit more about hacks before we leave. We're always taking learnings. Hacks won't drastically change the way the entire lobby plays, such as the Kayn encounter, nor will they drastically decrease comp diversity and viability. Hacks operate on existing systems with the primary goal of adding variability with agency. Agency coming from their outputs. Okay. I mean, it seems really, really cool, but again, it's something that you have to like play with to really get an idea of. Like, the issue when they introduce mechanics like this is it's always super cool in the opening weeks where you're like, you don't know what all of the hacks are. You don't know the frequency. You don't know anything, right? You're just playing the game. You're having fun. You're learning these things as you go. The issue is that like a couple months into the set, people have like gotten down and min-maxed and figured out what's the best for any particular situation. And then then the balance starts to become kind of questionable because then at that point you don't know, or sorry, you do know what to take every single time. And if it happens too often, some people just like snowball it straight into a victory. Okay, mini cinematic. We just read the mechanics one. That was that, and that. Okay, so. That's pretty much all of the articles that I'm seeing for Cyber City. Right. Okay. All right, let's also take a look at the shop update, because this is something I did not look at yesterday. And they're updating the Mythic Shop. Mythic Shop serves as a way to give you a second chance to obtain content that you might have missed from past passes, events, and limited time shop offerings. Our vision for the Mythic Shop is that it provides not just a second chance, but potentially multiple chances, offering the shop to ensure we can deliver on that vision consistently. Timers for each category. New offering of the same category will be in its place. So, this is what I was saying. They're just taking inspiration from TFT, which they should have done in the first place with their luxury content, right? A rotating shop. Don't get me wrong, the Mythic Essence shop was already a rotating shop, but having timers with different categories, for example, instead of just throwing a bunch of shit into the shop and saying, good luck, you have a month. This is just better overall for me. I mean, the categorization and everything, it just looks more professional. I like the way it's being presented already. Alright, so Nexus finishers. Mythic Shop Prestige skins are bi-weekly. Oh no, Mythic skins are bi-weekly. So every 2 weeks, new Mythic skins will come out. So that's every single patch. Weekly, so every 8 days, chromas. Daily, accessories. Emotes, words, icon. Am I confused the way I'm looking at this? Or does this go together? Updates on something new is released. There's something specific we want to highlight. That's what that is. Featured. Okay. Okay. Now that the content is automatically generated, we won't be able to provide a preview of what is coming in the next rotation outside of the featured category. So that's the only one they're going to look at. The rest is a surprise because it's going to be randomized. Okay. And I'm just assuming that's something that's can't appear for a set number of next shops, so that it just makes sure everything gets a turn in the shop. Prestige Battle Canadian to the next Prestige shop skin of Phelios arrives later this summer. This year's Your Shop schedule? Okay. Alright, I mean, that's a cute little thing. I mean, hey, I mean, it's getting better. It's getting better. That's what I care about. It's getting better. Alright. And I think that's it for that. I think now I'm going to play a little bit of the Demon's Hand. And we'll see how that goes. And then, I think I'm done. Right? So anyway, that's going to be in for the TFT content. I just tacked on that little Your Shop thing at the end just because I wanted to stay up to date with what was going on. I'm going to play a little bit of this Demon's Hand. I'm not going to do it on stream because I have to go do something. And then I'll come back and play more of it. But thanks to those of you who tuned in. I was glad to take a look at the new Cyber City stuff. I was going to look at each individual unit, but I want to keep it a surprise. The reason being, I want to wait until we actually play. I want to keep the learning experience because I'm not going to play on the PvE either, right? I want to be there day one when Cyber City drops with all this cool new content, and then I'm trying to learn and figure out. So we're going to save all of that for next time. But we got a cute little preview there. It's looking really good. It's looking very interesting. So that's it for me. I'm done yapping. Sorry. So I'll catch y'all next time. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.